You know you're a nomad kid when it's your last year at home and your parents tell you, hey, guess what? You get to pick where we live this year. We started traveling when our oldest was 13.
How I done back.
Okay. Quite as graceful as I... So when we asked where he would like to spend the year, he picked that great mecca for RVers, to which we had not yet mecca'd, Florida. What he really wanted to do was to spend a season snorkeling. And I know the Keys are the best spot, but dang, those Keys are expensive. So I planned a route that covered the west and the south and the east coast of Florida, and we would explore, try to find great snorkeling from the shore wherever we could, and then blow some cash on an epic snorkeling trip in the Keys, just for a week. So here's the honest truth. What worked, what didn't work, and the season of memories that we made before our oldest flies off to his next life adventure.
Okay, we're at Weeki Springs State Park. Hard to face the cold water. Freezing water.
Okay, we're not even to the beach yet. But before we even get there, we need to talk about Florida's amazing system of state parks. Yes, this is a state park. Weeki Springs came to us highly recommended. It's one of Florida's oldest attractions. I was hopeful that we would get to do some snorkeling here. The water was nice and clear. There were some little things to be seen, but it was really just too crowded to even think of pulling out any snorkeling gear.
Lifeguard's like, hey, can't do that.
So instead, we just spent a delightful afternoon swimming and going to see the Mermaid Show, which has been performed live continuously since 1947.
Behold this beauty as our story unfolds.
Pretty amazing how the show was designed. Of course, it is about the dangers of a child leaving their home of origin, moving out into the world. Anyway, let's move on from this. Nothing I want to think about right now.
Your impressions?
The water was freezing. Slides were slow.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing. There were literally guys feeling up Shy's muscles. Creepy.
So weird.
We started our perimeter journey around Florida on the west coast. And our jumping off point for exploring the area was Tarpon Springs, home to the Greek sponge diving industry. It's still a very active industry in this area, and it was fun to walk around the dock and see the different sponge boats that were tied up. This was one of those stops where it was a little bit challenging to be a strict kosher keeping family. Oh my gosh, the street food smelled so good. Here's what we were told by some online searching prior to our trip. We were led to believe that the water on the west coast would be crystal clear, shallow, and calm. We understood that we would have an abundance of sea life to see, not the colorful, beautiful Caribbean fish, but plenty of sea life. Maybe, if we were lucky, even some manatees.
To stay warm when you're a little
Now,
mama.
I'm just going to go on record to say a manatee was what I wanted to see. Go big or go home. I would rather see a giant mammal than a bunch of little fish any day. We did not go to the same beach twice for the 2 weeks that we were on the west coast. From Tarpon Springs all the way down to south of St. Petersburg, we tried a bunch of different spots. But, you can't spend all day, every day at the beach, so we did explore a couple other things in the area as time allowed.
Hi. Beached whale on a stand-up paddleboard.
Well, this was an easy call to make. We visited the spot where De Soto landed on the west coast of Florida, claiming it for Spain.
Are we going the long way?
We can't.
To over there?
No, we're not.
Ultimately, this was an extremely disappointing stop.
Land here.
We didn't even land here.
Landed 10 miles that way.
So they have like a 90% certainty.
Spotting a critter always makes things better. And speaking of critter spotting, we drove over an hour to a natural history museum to spy a manatee. Because so far we were unsuccessful at spotting much of anything in the wild.
Here we are at the manatee habitat. Oh my God, that's so exciting. What? There's no manatee. Just a diver. It's disappointing.
But it is cool that we got to see a diver do its work.
That is cool that we got to see it. This is a rehabilitation tank and their present customer was just released and they're waiting on their next customer to come. So bummer.
Wait, like they released him in the ocean?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Let's go ask the lady up at the desk what happened to the one that was right here.
Well, we weren't having that much luck on the natural front or on the historical front, so we decided for the cultural front, went to the Dali Museum in St. Petersburg. It was very fruitful, actually. You know, prior to this, I thought that I didn't like surrealist art. After this visit, I knew it for certain.
And we're off to do our favorite thing at the beach, which has nothing to do with the beach or the ocean or anything. What's our favorite thing to do at the beach? Shai says, make money! Shop. In other words, go spend money to make money. Shai's looking for some good thrift store deals.
Our Gulf Coast dreams came true in the biggest way, finally. And we didn't even have to go very far in order to make it happen. Hold it. Yep, I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah. Woo! Okay, so anyway, we were out here snorkeling and within like 5 minutes of getting here, and right behind us there was a shadow that went by, very dark shadow. And we looked, and indeed, finally, it was a manatee. How close were you? Like 10 feet?
Maybe like a yard, maybe.
A yard? Like,
I was so close to it.
could you have reached out and touched it if it was allowed?
I would have been so close, like this close.
Oh my gosh. And how did it look? Like vicious?
Like a giant fat cow.
Giant fat cow. Could you see its eye?
No,
Or what
its
part of its-
head looks like,
What part of its body did you see?
I saw its tail, I saw its body, and I saw a scar like over here.
Yeah.
It's white, but
Wow, that's so weird. I wonder how he got scarred. They don't have predators. Oh, a boat. Remember that? They said because they're in shallow water, they often get kind of ripped up by boats.
but no, this was at like a sheer.
A sheer?
Unless it was at like such a lucky angle, there's no way.
Yeah, man. That's so exciting.
Oh well, I
Okay, bye. See ya.
Oh, giant fish!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bessie, go for it. Ready, set, go.
City of Sand. Here's Navas.
Well, that about covers the high points of our West Coast chapter. I think our takeaways will be absolutely lovely sandy beaches, clear water, minimal stuff to see in the water, but definitely a gentle way to start out.
Losing track of time with you. Another beach pie sunset view.
When you think of Florida, I'll bet this is what comes to mind, isn't it? We are a hiking family, so let's get out there and see what we can see on our way from the West Coast to the southern part of... Wait, what?
Navet, he's that black one right there.
He's quite up though.
Oh, you're cutie!
No, he's not. On our first hike, we saw no fewer than 3 snakes. So, yeah, that's our only hike. Forget it, no more. We arrived at our mobile home park in Homestead and found that they had tried to squeeze us into a teeny tiny little site. Felt a little ghetto.
Honest review of Florida.
We are moving to the better part of town.
Yeah, like a couple of rows over.
It is literally a couple rows over. I mean, we'll have the noise of this street behind us, unfortunately, but...
That'll help us fall asleep.
Yeah? Will it? Not when those motorcycles go through. We spoke to the management and they were great about letting us move a couple spaces down to a site that was a little bit more spacious. There were really some perks actually to being in this mobile home park. It came with a pool, which was really nice, and a chance to just explore the neighborhood that we lived in, like locals, I guess. We loved getting to explore a lot of the libraries in the Miami-Dade County system and even this private steampunk library. But remember, we are here for the beach, so without further ado, may I present to you South Florida's beach. Yeah, there really is no beach, not unless you actually go up into Miami. If I had been smart and a little more on top of things, I would have looked at a Google satellite map and been able to spy that, yes, the south coast of Florida is in fact made up of mangrove forests. These mangrove forests play a huge role in protecting Florida from hurricanes and currents, and I understand that they're very fun to kayak through, but I was too nervous. Our kayaks are inflatable and alligators. We contented ourselves with swimming in this lagoon. Shy's out there snorkeling. What do you think he found? What is the most quintessential thing for Shy to find? Shy, show me. Naturally. South Florida means the Everglades, and Everglades usually mean an airboat tour, but we decided to explore them in a different way. There's a road that goes all the way through the Everglades to the very southern tip of Florida.
Where alligators fall, you have an alligator jar.
To be honest, much of the Everglades just looked like a gigantic expanse of grass. I didn't really know how to appreciate what I was looking at until I read Marjorie Stoneman Douglas's book, written all the way back in the 40s. Oh my gosh. To put it really briefly, we are standing here in the Everglades, basically in a gigantic river, a river that takes up pretty much the entire south of Florida. It's so slow moving that at times the movement is imperceptible, which I guess sort of makes me think of how fast our kids grow, that sometimes their progress towards the future seems imperceptible. Anyway, don't want to talk about that. Okay, we are approaching the end of Florida. Almost there. Here we are, the bottom of the continental U.S. Less than a year ago, we were in the Arctic Circle in Alaska. Crazy where the miles have taken us. You know, having a home that goes everywhere and is never in one place for very long has formed an unbelievably unique bond, I think, between these 5 kids. They are at it like nobody's business some days. Not gonna lie, it can be really challenging. But
Stop taking pictures and help our children!
nobody will ever quite get them the way that each other do.
Stop moving around so much, you idiots!
We're not done yet, okay? We're not done yet, but all throughout this chapter of our travels in Florida, I have paused and taken a really good look at our family of 7 and treasured in my heart all of the special moments we've had together. Here's our campsite. Happy Mother's Day from Miami Beach, Key Biscayne. It's not too crowded, very rough water, and not too much to see. We finally made it to an actual beach with sand. Now, to do this, we had to drive an hour through Miami traffic. We had to plan to get there first thing in the morning so that it wasn't too crowded, so that we could find a parking spot. And by the time that we left midday, there was not a single parking spot left. It was time to hit that long, long road that bounces over all the keys to make it all the way down to Key West. Okay, here we are. The road has run out, and this is where it brought us. Literally the end of the road. Are you ready? Are you ready for some Caribbean blue waters? Check this out. Yes, and the seaweed. Somebody who's very interested in you.
What is that?
It's a huge, like, crane of some kind.
That is hilarious.
I know. Nava just noticed him. Nava just now noticed him. He is, like, so curious. The surf was quite rough. It felt a little bit challenging to do any kind of good snorkeling because the surf really did seem to stir up a lot of sediment. It wasn't super clear. And of course that seaweed. But eventually, I always admire this about the kids. They can just turn anything into a form of entertainment. When we think of walking around the Keys, there is one creature that is going to be predominant in our minds. What the?
It looks like a dinosaur.
I don't know.
Is he scared?
At the end of the island here at Key West is Fort Zachary Taylor, and that provided some great opportunities to get out of the water and let our sunburn cool off and the chafing begin to heal while we did a little bit of learning about the local history. Okay, so remember that the main thing that Rafi wanted to do in Florida was to snorkel. And to do that right, I think we found out that going offshore to the coral reefs is the best way.
It's a pirate's life for me.
We looked into joining like a chartered trip, but very expensive for a family of 7 and only, 2 hours or something. So the more economical route was to rent a boat for a day. And the engineer found maps for all of the reef options where we could go, and very easy to just kind of tie into buoys that are all around in the area. The first day we took a boat out of Marathon, and it was just a single hold boat.
Yeah, let's just put this thing out.
Hey, don't drop those goggles.
Oh no, I dropped them.
Hi, bub.
After a while of being at one spot, we would hop back in the boat and drive off to a different spot or maybe a different reef. We were out here all day, and yeah, I think our sun protection was a little bit lacking.
We have some vampires or something. Raya, turn the light on. Raya just wants to.
Similar to Mr. Sun.
Raya just wants to dwell in the total darkness in front of a fan. The darker and the colder, the better.
Still feel fine. Never better.
Wait, let me see Rafi's. Oh, Rafi, that looks. Ouch. Okay, wait, how you can tell how bad Rafi's is Rafi stands sideways. Yep, that's how you can see.
Okay, day 2, forget it. Not taking any chances. Covered up within an inch of our lives. Now this time we had a pontoon boat. Seemed to offer a little bit more stability. I know it looks super beautiful, but listen, there's an ugly truth I have to tell you. I get really seasick. We're on day 2 of the boat. This was my plan of attack. Number 1, Dramamine, which I took last night before bed, and then again about 30 minutes before we boarded. Dramamine, ginger chews, ginger snaps, ginger ale, Gatorade to stay hydrated. I have saltines as something really light to eat. Yesterday I had those sea bands as well. Everything, all of the things, and I would say the first day it didn't help me at all. It was 5 hours of misery, and then for the last like 2 hours I was feeling okay. And then today, so far, not really any problems. If I should have any problems, I hope to just put myself out of my misery this way. One of us has a dream to do sailboat life after RV life. It's not me, I'll just say that.
It's official.
For as beautiful and peaceful as the surface is, there is a peace and a quiet underneath the water that's just unbelievable. So I'm gonna stop talking and let you taste that.
I almost got him. I think that's a bluefin tuna. Would love to catch one of those and eat it. All right, we're at French Reef off the coast of Key Largo. You can see all the kids up there. I think they're looking at like a small shark. This is French Reef, where we have seen really cool stuff. We saw a huge shark. I think they're looking at like a small shark, but we saw Jesse and Nava and myself. We saw a big one. I think it was like 10, 12 feet. He was huge, and he's like way down there. Don't know what kind of shark he was. I don't know my sharks. But we've seen bluefin, big bluefin tuna, yellowfin tuna. The boys also saw a dolphin. I tried to swim over there and get some GoPro video, but I couldn't quite get it. I saw his dorsal fin come out of the water, but it's not quite clear enough to see all the way where he was. Overall, the clarity is really good. This is our second reef of the day, and French Reef. It's an awesome reef. There's these big valleys where you have like coral, and then on either side of the valley is the coral, and then the bottom is like the sand. And so when something swims across the valley, you can see it really well. It's very easy to spot. So that's how we saw the big shark, couple big sharks, and that big bluefin tuna that I saw. Really cool reef.
As a parent, it's probably one of the most incredible experiences to watch your kids be introduced to a world that is not their own, that's not native to them, and to just sit back and watch them look around and figure it out. Look around and discover what they enjoy about it, what they feel that they need to be cautious of. To watch them testing their new skills, pushing their limits. Kids are so adaptable. Humans are so adaptable. And of course, I can't help but think that in the next chapter of my kid's life, whatever kind of world he finds himself in, he'll figure out how to adapt. Oh my gosh, see, there I go again.
What'd you see?
Bull shark, well, a couple of them, and some dolphins.
Did you actually see the dolphins in the water swimming?
4 of them.
You saw 4 of them?
Yeah.
My goodness, so many fish. Oh, this was such a beautiful spot. Oh, there they go, feeding frenzy. Oh my.
No, they'll go for it.
They're circling.
Some rough spots here, definitely. Okay, turn around. Oh my gosh.
All right, so we moved on from South Florida up the East Coast a bit to the Palm Springs area. We went to the beach approximately once there, not even worth mentioning. So come see our homeschool science instead.
Help them eat soft-bodied animals.
How strong are their jaws?
The PSI I knew at one point in my professional career, but I do not remember right now. But you can Google that. It has been measured.
We made a friend earlier this year who has unbelievable connections, one of which was setting us up with an educator at a sea turtle center.
Deli, I can tell because of the amputation that you saw earlier. So I can see. Remember, all the sea turtles that we get are sick or injured. They're here for a reason because we are a hospital. So sometimes those injuries are on the outside. And it's very easy to tell what's wrong. Like, for example, a boat strike. Like, if it gets hit by a boat and there's some wounds, we can usually tell.
We stayed at a great county park in Lake Worth that had iguanas everywhere.
Whoa, my clothes. I fell into that water.
Since we were so close, we took time to drive over past Mar-a-Lago.
Here we go. Police, look at that. Jesse.
Oh my gosh! Ah! That's Mar-a-Lago. Wow. Oh my
We should fly the drone.
So when you hear Palm Beach, undoubtedly you think of unbelievable wealth. And that's certainly the case for the island. But drive to the western part of the county and you will find a completely different kind of wealth. Incredibly rich soil. That's the basis for some thriving agriculture.
This is what we consider called the 20-mile bend. The reason why it's called the 20-mile bend is we are literally in the middle of the county. So we're 20 miles from Palm Beach Island, 20 miles from Lake Okeechobee. So each one of these letters represent a commodity that's grown out here.
That well-connected friend that I mentioned earlier is the Palm Beach area director for the Florida Sugarcane League, and she gave us the tour of a lifetime.
They just know you?
Yeah, they knew I'm coming ahead of time. I told them I was coming. So that's what goes down and cuts the cane in the fillets, and then it shoots off at the top.
Who doesn't like sugar? Everybody likes to enjoy some sugar, but did you know that parts of the cane are in other products you use?
We are connected to the FP&L grid to initially start off our mill to get it going. And then after we get it going and the power starts going and everything is like running smooth, then what we do is we take this bagasse and we take it inside and we boil it, and that is how all of our energy is produced. Now, as you can see, we have an abundance of this bagasse. It's all over. Hey, you need to go out and figure out what to do with the rest of this bagasse. There's just so much of it at all of our mills. You guys all have iPhones. When you first got your iPhone, it sat in a little cradle, right? So that cradle is made out of sugarcane. So what we found is we can actually make paper products. So we make paper plates, bowls, and to-goes. We call them clamshells. And the great thing about it is we don't put any chemicals and dyes in it. But if it goes into the water, it turns into fish food. If it goes into your backyard, it biodegrades within 60 to 75 days. In this way, the tractors will come in, or trailers, and then they'll scan the QR code, and then it'll tell them what field they came from, when it was planted, when it was harvested, and whose field it was. Because this is a co-op. The co-op is owned by 49 different farmers, and also U.S. Sugar and Florida Crystals are also members as well. This is a 24-hour process. So they come here and they run this mill 24/7. Now, because you guys are my special guests, we're gonna get out. Here's the rules though. You cannot climb up Sugar Mountain, and I'll pull out some so you can taste it. You go to lunch, I'll show you the video. We call it a sugar slinger. Think of like a snow blower when you're like snow blowing and the snow goes this way. So we have a sugar slinger. The dump truck will come, dump it into the slinger, and it shoots right to the top of sugar. We call it Sugar Mountain. You'll see. We're gonna go inside.
Gosh, it's sugar.
Yeah, so we'll pull up a little further. And then...
It smells amazing.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh.
If I could box up a smell and send it to you that would just make you as happy as could be, this would be it.
But it's very sticky, so we literally fill this to not capacity. Here. So the truck will come in. Well, he won't do it now because he'll open close, but he'll dump it, And then that guy will go in, put in that sugar sticker that we saw outside the yellow thing, and then literally flip it to the very top. So this whole thing is filled to max capacity. And this raw sugar can stay here for like years.
Over all of these years of travel, one of the most meaningful elements has been all of the learning that we have gotten to do together as a family. Parents and kids standing shoulder to shoulder and learning about something for the first time as equals. It's incredibly special as a parent to learn beside your kids. But before I become too poetic, we better just move on. Time to be done with Palm Springs and head north to Jacksonville area.
Finally at a beach. All this time in Florida, I don't know, it's been a beach. This is really, for real. The problem is though, we are a little bit plagued by persistent lightning storms in the late afternoon and evening, and this is no exception. Now, we have it from a reliable source, I think it was Grok, that said apply the 30-30 rule, which is if you see a lightning strike and you hear it's 30 seconds, within 30 seconds you hear the thunder, stay out of the water for 30 minutes. Now, we just saw a strike right across, right over there, and it was almost 40 seconds till the boom. So I think we're safe. We're gonna try it. Hopefully this isn't our last video. Bye.
We ended up loving Hannah Park Campground here in Jacksonville, and with its easy access to the beach, the ability to bring our pup. There weren't crowds, it was just us on the beach. We ended up extending our stay for an extra week. We loved it so much. I know there's no palm trees and no sugar soft sand, and that water is kind of ragey and kind of cloudy, but there was just something about this that felt so incredibly right. Allow me to finally lapse into uninhibited reverie here. There was something about standing on this shore and watching the kids play and knowing that before I knew it, this first kid was going to be on the other side of this ocean. We've subjected our firstborn to an entire teenagerhood of nomad life, to 100 different beginnings in 100 different places. As a result, we have this gigantic body of shared amazing experiences. I guess a veritable ocean of them.
Place to be and nothing to prove.
All rivers lead to the sea. The tides rise and fall and rise again.
Something I could use.
And time isn't a line, it's a spiral. And I'm out of metaphors. I'm just intensely grateful that we got to share this life together.